Continue. Okay.
We are recording. Miss Judy
Okay.
Langston from Tallahassee, my long time sister girl, Camp Momma.
Girl. Well, hi everybody. I'm Judy, and yeah, I've known Sangoma for many, many years. We consider ourselves sisters, and we actually, for the first time, camped together, and that was a very interesting experience. Oh my gosh, we'll be laughing and crying about that one for a while. But this is so interesting. I wish I had kind of been earlier, because this is a spiritual and a sort of heady conversation. And I think NVC ties in really well with that, because to me it's a spiritual practice about being present. So the conversation mainly, and I'm getting this correctly, is that we're trying to figure out what to do with what's going on right now. Your white friends, your black friends, I know you've been on it for years. So also, I don't know if anyone has seen this thing going around Facebook. Grant posted it the other day about how to be in this conversation, about not shame and guilt don't work, and batten down the sort of the intellectual languaging, and because there's this sort of anti-intellectualism going on, and honor the police and their work, and all very, very helpful hints. But I think that NVC can really help. I told you this the other day, Sangoma. This woman came into my my shop. I'm a caterer. I have a little takeout food shop, and she's a retired principal. And she asked me, she knows I work with kids, and I've actually volunteered at a teen center, which I haven't been able to do since March because all this is shut down, and I miss them terribly. I've been doing it about 5 years. So I write about it in my newsletter, and she asked this, a retired educator, what can I do? How can I help? And the first thing that came to my mind was talk to people. And then later I thought, we need to listen, to learn how to listen and be present with people. There's a lot of pain and like 400 years of this. How is a couple conversations going to change something? But it's a start. And Jack, I appreciate you and Paige and your words. And this is not an intellectual exercise. It's a heart one. But we need the tools of communication to be able to talk to the police, to talk to each other, to talk to our neighbors. And this method, there's no way I can download it to you guys in 45 minutes, but I can make a little stab at it. So first I kind of want to who has had experience in this. I know some of you Asheville people have, at least, like you. I know you've done some of that work. Has anybody else? Is anybody hand raising? Some people had to step out, I noticed. No. Kimberly! Hi, honey. I know you. Okay. Hi, sweetie. So I also want to say one other thing before I go into this. I know that gosh, what's his name? The Secrets of the Talking Jaguar. The man from Guatemala. What's his name? Anyway,
Markel. What is it?
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, anyway, what I learned in reading those books.
Thank you.
Martin Krechtel, that's right. Oh my gosh. But the Catholic churches came in all over the world and built their churches on top of sacred sites, right? So I kind of feel like that's what's going on here. We're in a transitional time, and we are building something on top of something. There are things set in place around the world, but and I know that Dylan Rawls Hamilton was talking about that today on Facebook, and how, there's no way he's going to change this old man's mind. But I'm like, I've always said this, the old is dying out, and the kids that are coming in, that they are adopting the new brotherhood. It may not be written down, and kind of that's where I want to come in, was like helping the new people, the kids, and have a language of love and spirit and connection and brotherhood. But they're rejecting the old ways. They're dying out. This is the new movement. So unless someone can come up with a better way than NVC to talk to each other, I'm sticking with it. you know, and it really is about being present. And I just encourage you all to go look at videos on YouTube, because there's tons of them. One of my besties here in town is actually creating something called the Big B method, and she's the one I volunteer with at the teen center. We've been working with kids who've gotten in non-drug related offenses, and that they have to take this 12-week course where they learn NVC, and it's absolutely incredible. And it's along the lines of we use restorative justice practices, and talking about defunding the police. That's where the money needs to go. And of course, there's so many better ways money can be used than giving police military gear. But anyway, okay. So NVC stands for nonviolent communication, and Marshall Rosenberg was the founder of it, and he says that our passive violence leads to real violence. Words and our thinking, the hierarchy, the patriarchy, and all that leads to real violence. And I think we're seeing that. And so if we can learn this in just a simple way to learn to connect with others and connect with ourselves, and by using these principles, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but you can learn it, and you practice it with one another. And it's just a mindset. And actually, it is kind of stilted language at first. It can be kind of weird. Like, I'm guessing that you're feeling hurt and angry, and you have a need to be heard. You know, it can be kind of weird like that. But after a while, it really gets to be more, it gets to be easier. Okay, I'm just seeing there are comments coming up here on this side. Christy posted the feelings and needs sheet. Awesome. So that's kind of what I wanted to do first, was going around and kind of try to get you guys into the mindset of NVC. So we do, whenever we're in groups, we do the self-connection. So everyone would share kind of what they're feeling and what they're needing in the moment. And you have your sheet, but a lot of people, they don't understand really what real feelings are. There's a thing called fake or faux feelings, like I'm feeling abused or I'm feeling rejected. Those are not feelings. That's a thought feeling. Those words make the other person feel defensive, like, because you're actually if I'm feeling abused, you or someone else did it. So if you're feeling abused, you might be feeling hurt or angry or scared. So I'm not sure which direction how this works, but maybe Sangoma, you can go first.
What we do is we turn it over to Christy, who's your wrangler, and for a minute, I guess, because the other Tracy's not here, and she just passes that talking stick along. So while my mic is open, I'm gonna put mine in here. Okay. I'm really paying attention. Because I notice in my own energy, irregardless where there is a topic, and I've noticed that doesn't matter what the skin color of the person is that I'm talking to. If the subject matter hits a certain emotional trigger in there, I have not yet learned the nonviolent communication tools by which I am not a somewhat loud and angry dragon. That could scare the shit out of them. You see what I'm saying? Because in my own world, I'm not yelling or screaming or any of that. But the intensity that got triggered inside is so big that I can imagine it must be hard for them to be them in my.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So you're so in that case, you're not meeting your own need for peace or calm.
Right. Because I'm really looking for that Buddha moment. You know what I'm saying? I need to be more effectiveness.
And it hurts your heart when you can't even meet your own need for that. Yeah.
And it embarrasses my ancestors. So I try not to go to that wild girl kind of pain.
Yeah, heard. Okay, Tracy or Christy, pick somebody. Or you can go.
All right, I'll say I'm feeling a little tired, like I feel like there's been so much moving through that I don't feel like my skin's out all the way on. And I feel like I need to, like, if I was truly taking care of myself, I'd probably go rest right now. I was going to go be with my son, and that I got some text, and through my ex that got canceled, and I'm a little concerned about them. So I'm distracted, worried about them, and fear that there's struggle, hurt there or something.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I'm hearing that. Gotcha.
All right. I will pick Kimberly. You're next on my loop here. Kimberly, you need to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. There
Thank
you go.
Sorry. So I was just looking at that list of feelings, but I didn't get to the needs part yet. I was noticing that I was feeling a lot of those feelings. I was like, oh, good word. Oh, I forgot about that word. Oh, I think that would too. And a lot of layers. But I think that I've kind of been waiting for this moment in history so long physically that my body is happy, and the vibration that I've been on over the journey over the last 3 years, and even the winter meetings when we had, the 4 Sundays, just understanding that I'm prepared for it, and knowing that I can think that I'm not prepared for something, so that that I just have to know how to trust. But I did it so much that it has become second nature. So I'm just excited because we are at the pivot moment in history, and it's kind of exciting.
Okay. Could
Yeah.
it be that your need is being met for hope and movement and change?
Yes, there you go. Yeah, for sure. Yep, I didn't get to the needs part. I was trying to nail down one zone of those feelings, because I'm also feeling content because we are here and we're having these conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to see Jack in person, because when I got his book and was reading it, was, kind of, hey, yeah, somebody put a language to this. Is great. And it's yes, it's like I'm on tippy toes, like, okay, I'm super excited about this because all of the things that ancestors have, communicated, spirit has pushed me towards in the path. It's just been so easily laid out that, you're in your dharma.
Mm-hmm.
And so also maybe it's meeting my need for comfort, because I'm finally understanding why I have the strangest skill set. Yeah. But now things make so much sense that I don't even worry about it.
Hey, I want to take a quick time here. You said you're looking at the list of feelings and needs.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's having any conflict in their life, like, hello, y'all are all human. I really suggest you print them out. And whenever you're having a conflict with someone, only go off that list. Just only communicate using those words. It's unbelievable. And if you're having someone especially difficult, you can hand them that thing of, how are you feeling right now? And it's almost magic. It's so great. Okay, go ahead. Chris.
Okay, the next person in line, it would be Camille. You would like to go?
I'm feeling really excited to be a part of this conversation. It's really everything I've been needing in order to feel like, we're going to have what we're coming together in order to go through the portal, I guess. Like it all is being laid out, the shadow of that, new moon, and I'm feeling excited about that, but I'm also I'm noticing that my body is really agitated right now, and I have like a ball in my stomach, And so I haven't gone to the needs yet, but that's just where I'm feeling.
That's cool. I can interpret. Maybe you're feeling anxious and maybe excited and maybe a little worried.
Yes.
Maybe you're really, and so maybe it's kind of like Kim, you're having some needs met for hope and movement and change, but also just, the worry kind of has you like that. Yeah.
Go figure.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Timmy, would you like to go next?
Yes, I can. I was actually trying to search for my feelings. I'm like, how am I feeling? I was feeling fired up a moment ago.
Feeling what, honey?
But now I'm feeling calm.
I'm getting bad
Can you hear me?
connection. Shoot. I'm getting bad connection, so it's hard for me to hear you. Shoot.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm feeling between calm and energetic. I don't know. I'm feeling calm and energetic. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible.
No, it is. It's so weird that we can feel all these different feelings in the same moment.
Right.
Yeah.
For my needs, is this something that you're asking if it's being met or something that we want to work on?
Either one. Either you're celebrating a need being met or you're mourning one that's not being met.
For me, it'll be creativity.
You're mourning that?
Yeah, I want to be more creative.
Okay.
Or bring out more of my creativity and being consistent with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. That is one of the hugest human needs is to be creative. And when we're not, we're really stuck. And I think that's a lot of people are in that place. But I can see into your soul, girly girl. Oh, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to hang out with all of y'all. Thank you for coming and adding your voice. It's really important. Yeah. Okay, Christy.
Let's see. We have 3 people who have no video. So I'll start. Vasiliki, B, did you want to chime in?
This is the dinner hour. I'm wondering if people went to eat.
Yeah.
I know I
They
have
might be on dinner break if they don't answer you. They might have.
I'll just go through. Oh, Tracy, there you are. All right.
Okay, forgive me. I was in the kitchen trying to hook my grandson up with something to munch on. So I hope I heard this right. To look at this list of feelings and give what? Okay, so I did hear it right.
Feelings and a couple needs.
One more time.
Or just one.
Okay. Well, I'm in a real delicate balance here. I'm a little on the edgy side because I'm exhausted. Moving a lot of energy in a lot of different ways. But at the same time, I am deeply, deeply appreciative and very optimistic about what's going on. And it's definitely a case of staunch self-observation in order to not allow myself to swing over too hard to that, edgy side because I'm tired.
That's some good awareness, girl. Yeah, I think we all do that. So you're in a little bit of conflict. You're feeling tired, exhausted, and you're in need of some rest probably and some clarity. But you're also celebrating that you're getting your needs met for hope. I think that's happening for all of us. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of us are in the same boat, which that does not surprise me that Sangoma pulled together some like-minded people here. Thank you. Did everybody go that's here?
I think Stephanie or Sarah, if you wanted to pop in and say how you're feeling.
Hi. Hi, Judy.
Hey!
I was so excited to see that you were coming on. I saw you
Yeah.
on the YouTube channel. Yay!
Yay! Who's that little man?
Audrey's here too.
That's Audrey. Oh, look like a tiny wee baby. It's a big baby. Hi, honey. Cute muffin.
She's not. She's definitely like a boss woman.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I feel unprepared because I start my morning at 5, and I saw that you had a sheet, and it was very important that everybody had a sheet, and I don't have the sheet.
That's okay. I'm a translator. I'm a translator. Just tell me what's up, and I'll translate.
I am feeling inspired from the conversations I've heard today, and I am feeling I don't know. I'm feeling loved and family. I've had so many people reach out over the last couple months while we're in quarantine. That was like, it's like touched my heart, feeling, hey, please don't touch the screen while I'm talking. Thank you. I love you. And I'll tell you what, I have been working on my property for 6 years now and making us self-sufficient. And don't tell everybody else, I really was happy to be quarantined so I could just be my happy place working on the thing that I enjoy the most. Yeah, I don't think most people want to hear that.
Actually, you shared that on Facebook. You're like, I'm loving this.
Just send us more kids. That was Audrey's request.
Yeah, I want to come play with her.
Yes. And actually, I thought about that. I was trying to figure out how all those kids that are in horrible situations, locked in homes with abuse and whatnot, how do I just tell them to come here because we would love playmates and, you know, what's 1 versus 5 versus 20. They're all
right.
kids.
What's one more?
What's one more?
Okay, so I'm going to interpret. So you're
Maybe not enough bathrooms.
Maybe not enough bathrooms, she says.
Yeah, maybe not enough bathrooms.
Well, camp, it's okay.
Yeah.
So you're feeling a little tired. You've been up a long time, and but really happy and inspired. And it sounds like you got your needs met for community with your business. And then yeah, like true community. That's awesome. All right, monkey butt.
Hey, this is what my day is. This is why I usually don't do Zoom meetings in the middle of the day. So I apologize for movement, and but we so appreciate being a part of this. Thank you.
Having you too. Okay, who's next, Christy?
Sarah, would you like to jump in? Share feelings
and or a need.
And a need.
Thank you. Hi. I actually got it. I put it together. I'm like, whoa, gold star for me today. So, you know, I loved the suspicious and detached. I was very, at the beginning of all of this, and then especially, good Lord, I just said, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to sit this one out. I went from detached. I was detached and I was suspicious. And so I waited for the invitation and I got it. And I was so grateful for Sangoma. And then I felt heard. Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. Was your suspicion and detachment about this topic or the whole everything?
Everything. No. I mean, everything. Yes.
Okay.
And so, and by everything, nonviolent communication. It's. I'm kind of suspicious about that. I mean, what rhymes with violence? Silence. You know, yeah.
Yeah. Heard. I'm hearing that. Okay.
With
Go
the
ahead.
word suspicious, I'm sorry. Suspicious because I am waiting for people to speak truth. That's what it is. Are they going to speak their truth? And can they stand in their truth? And for the work that I do, it's we're getting to that place where, man, find your truth, and then work up from there. But people, so that's where the suspicion came from. Are people going to
be authentic? You have a deep need for authenticity, and it pisses you off when people can't be that way. You're suspicious that they're not being real. Maybe. And you really value being real. You can trust people who are real, even if they're ugly.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Thank you I can just see your heart too, girl. Oh, all these passionate, brilliant people on this. Thank you. God, my day has been made. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alina. Hi, darling. Hi. You want to tell us your feelings and needs, a couple or three?
Sure, if you'll hear me, I would love to have a space for that.
We can hear you.
I listened to the YouTube video, Judy, with you and Sangoma from yesterday. And so I'm glad to catch some of this today. And there's a thing that I've been struggling with recently, which is really finding like this deep gratitude for appreciating growing up as a white woman in the United States, like finding really deep emotion in recognizing the safety I get to experience for my teenage son that my counterparts of the same age who have a different color skin don't get to know. And I have been having this recognition that like my generations are young in this country and how that affects me. And being that 1/4 of my family are from Yemen and they are darker skinned, much darker than myself. And my 2 cousins who favor that side get stopped at the airport every time they travel. Mm-hmm. And so like feeling this like some amount of deep understanding of like my great grandparents all came from other places and they were escaping from like persecution and situations that were really traumatic for them. And then they came here. So I've been dealing with this heaviness that I feel like is the collective. It's like the collective global heaviness. And then how to reconcile like the traumas from my genetic ancestry and be present and strong now in a way that benefits where it's needed as a way to do that. So I don't know, those are the things that are weighing on me and are heavy and not always knowing how to navigate them in the best way with grace.
So you're kind of feeling a little heavy maybe and concerned and conflicted too. I mean, you look so white, Miss Purple Hair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And but that's not your heritage. I mean, God, what the hell is white anyway? God. So yeah, you have some concerns about how to navigate this reality, and especially given your background and your kind of, let me see. This is where it just really helps to have this little list. You're looking for for clarity and for meaning and for growth and for, answers. Maybe, I think also we're also all of us maybe looking for some order and structure in this because there's nothing ordered about any of this. It's all brand new. I don't know who said it earlier, maybe Kimberly, like, we've been waiting for this. People are actually remembering that I've been saying this and saying it on Facebook, like, Judy, you've been saying this is going to happen, and here it is happening. So that's why I appreciate this call and all you girls and people coming together, because I think this is the order and the structure is going to come out of this. And I really hope that we keep talking, Alina, and I hope that we can really, I'm touched and nervous and scared, but my needs are met for hope and joy, because if I can help people with this, then I will be adding I'll be able to contribute. But we need to know how to use this, some kind of tool to connect with ourselves and connect with others so we can have this conversation. And it's a spiritual practice of being present and identifying what's going on for us. And I cannot, as hard as much as I want to, I can't download 10 years of NVC to you guys in 20 minutes. But having the feelings and needs sheet is a place to start.
I really felt like something that spoke to me, and actually why I made it here to the call, was the Sangoma, when you said, I can see where we are challenged to get on the same page, but let's at least get in the same book. And actually, like, that quote, like, stuck with me strongly, because I feel like, we're maybe not even in the same book. So, like, actually, let's be really realistic. Like, so like, how do we get into the same binding? And so, like, I really appreciated that. So.
I want to stick right in there because this is a key piece in the dynamics. I don't know how it affects what you're bringing next, Judy, but in the dynamics of non-melanated people, and I say that just as a term of difference to people of color, appreciate the exhaustion. Exhaustion of the people of color. You know, and that when that came out of my mouth, it was just pure spirit, Alina, honest to God. But it really hit that answer for me, you know, where I went, there it is. Because I had not till that moment been able to find my own exhaustion in serving white communities. I couldn't name it. And I got it right there. I was like, well, there it is. You want all of your friends, no matter what color they are, to be on the damn same page as you and kind of think like you and have common thoughts like you. And that was my reality, girlfriend. I didn't say the last end of that was that, you're okay? Not only are we not in the same book, we ain't even in the fucking same library, okay? That's how bad it's hanging out right now. And so that's why I put that quote together and just said, okay, I'll try for the really big book, like the Webster's Dictionary, and see, can we all get in there first before I keep just repeatedly exhausting myself trying to get us all on the same page, because I can't do it.
Okay. I'm going to say that we're not ever going to be like totally on the same page. But what we can do is reflect back the page that you're on. You might be on a different page than me, but that's the beauty of NVC is I don't have to agree with you, but I have to honor your humanity and honor where you're coming from. So it doesn't, you know, if we look at the boat or the book or even the library as the planet, we're all in that we're definitely in together. But the same page, we're not going to convince Richard Cleveland that he's not a racist. He thinks he's not a racist, right? We're not going to get on the same page. But some way or somehow, even with people like that, we can develop the tools to have connection and to reflect back to him. And the Holy Spirit, I think this is Holy Spirit work. No one says that in this work. No one says it's spiritual, but I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've been a part of it. It's like the Spirit just comes down, and it's like a balm of love and connection that happens, and healing. And it makes even the sourest person like get it. You can see them get it. So this is the magic of it. And it really does take some work to get there, but it's not impossible. And I really, really want to ask y'all to, I believe so strongly in this work because it's helped me stop my judgment of people. And it's helped me stop my judgment of myself. I look back at things I've done in the past and I think instead of this horrible judgment, I'm like, oh, I was trying to get a need met. Everyone's trying to get a need met. And when you can get that through your head, even, the comfort of having white privilege, they're trying to get their needs met. They want peace. That's their way to get it. But you know what? They're not going to have it because the world's on fire and they're going to get burned. And so it's up to us, I think, people like us, to figure out what this order and structure is, find the new milieu, the inculcation, the new spiritual languaging, there's whatever, there's something to give them the container to do this work in without rejecting it outright, without just floundering or being an anarchist or just fuck it. I think there's a tendency for a lot of people to do that. They need some languaging. And this is a minor, this is a tool for spirit, basically, I think. And I just want to give you guys a quick rundown that I don't know if it'll help, but if y'all even want me to do that, because you can read the book and you can look at the videos. But it's pretty basic. There's 4 parts to it. It's giving yourself or others empathy. And how you do it is OFNR, observation, feelings, needs, and request. And you do an observation without using judgmental or evaluative language. Okay, we'll say Sangoma put this weekend together. That was the observation. We all had certain feelings about it. I was excited, and I had got my needs met for hope and for contribution. And my request of myself is to dive deeply. Can you dive deeply and take this serious? Yes, I can. That was easy. What's not easy is when you're in a conflict. But that's why it's important when you're in a conflict with somebody is to say just the facts. And that's what's so hard to do. Like if all of us agree that, I don't know, someone came late to a meeting. Well, what's late? Is 5 after late? Is 10 minutes? So there's all sorts of gray areas in there. But when you're in conflict, and I don't know, I'm sure all y'all can think of a conflict or 10, but if you do it without judgmental or evaluative language, and that's what's hard to do, and that's what's good. And if we were to be in a class, like if we wanted to do this, or you sign up take some of Cindy's things with the Bigby method, because our thinking is so ingrained, our languaging is so ingrained, and it really comes from like the church or our parents or the government or it's ingrained, and it's ingrained with punishment. Somebody's got to be right, and if you're not right, then you need to be punished. That's a Christian thing. It's awful. It's also other cultures do it. They use shame to get people to change their behavior. Does that work? No, and it's not going to work with the people that we're running up against in this movement. So that's why I really hope Sangoma, can you share that post that Grant shared on your page? I think it's real important because all of us here are educated and well-spoken, and it doesn't work. I have a business partner who's a Trump supporter, and he's an anti-intellectual. He thinks there's something about the liberal elite. So he doesn't understand a lot of my languaging. So that's what's in that post of like, you have to not dumb it down, but I guess kind of like change your languaging. We want to be effective. That's the needs we all have. We want our message that we are all one to be effective. But you don't do it by shaming someone and you have white privilege. We definitely learned that Sangoma in that class that woman that came and her friends came to Rendezvous last year. So I think that's mainly it. I bet you guys are tired. This is a very intense time, and y'all have been doing a lot of work. But I would like to continue at some other point if y'all want me, because there's so much more to say and to learn. And yeah, that's what had me worried all week, is how can I even do this in even 45 minutes? But I think we made a little bit of an inroad, so I'm hoping that.
So well. I wrote it down. I want to make sure I got it. Observation, request, needs.
No, OFNR, observation, feelings, needs, request, and you do that. And if you ever want, when you use the empathy process, you almost always use it for the other person first. You guess their feelings and you guess their needs. And here, you don't have to get it right. The very fact that you are present with that person and you're like, are you feeling hurt or angry? And you're like, no, I'm really just feeling frustrated. You know, but the very fact that you're guessing and you care enough about what's going on with them, that's half of it. And then you go even deeper and and the feelings are what leads you to the needs. Like if you're confused, well, you need clarity. If you're frustrated, then you need calm or order or something. So, and after a while, it becomes pretty clear. You can kind of A follows B. And the request part is there's either a connecting request or an action request. Okay, would you be willing to take the garbage out? Because I'm really frustrated because my need for cleanliness and order is not met by this filthy place. Would you be willing to take the garbage out? That's an action request. But then when you say a connecting request is something like, how does that make you feel when I say that? Or can you even reflect back to me what you heard me say? And that's very important because people will they interpret it through their own head. Like you say, I'm frustrated and angry because I need a clean house. Can you tell me what you heard me say? And some kid or whatever might say, you said I'm a slob. You think I'm a slob. I never said that. You feel me? That's why it's so important. Languaging is so important that we take our time, and we also might need help with a mediator or just someone who can be a witness. Because there's a beautiful brown-skinned child walking around right now in Alabama that I mediated his mama and daddy using my NVC. They went that night. She was going to move back to Panama City. They went that night and made a baby. Yep. Kedron I made that baby. So marriages are saved. I mean, tribes in Africa. Marshall Rosenberg went to Africa and brought these tribes together. They were killing each other. And he sat down, this white man, they're like, you're just a white man coming in here to do everything like everybody else. And he said, you sound very angry. You know, he stuck with it. And sticking with it is what gets results. So thank you.
I'm going to give us a couple of options here. I love shared leadership and consensus. Thank you so much, Judy. I think you nailed it personally because, you know what I mean? If we wanted to do like a Saturday, give you all the space 2 to 4 hours where people go deep with it, you know, that's something we'll talk about at a future event. But to say in the context of all the many places that we have been so far in this summit and are going into toward tomorrow, to just give us a few tips and the things to think about in the company of the handouts where we can read it later or we can pick up the book, is to say we did really well. Points being considered, it is now 7:12. And so our choices are to circle around so that we feel very close and good closure to this NVC and make a nice clean sweep over to Sarah, which I would like to do. And for those of you, we are recording Sarah. For those of you that might feel that you need to step away for dinner, nutrition, walk outside, smell the air, get some fresh air, because this is marathon. But I already tuned my body up and spoke it to me that, you know, I don't ever like sit in front of a machine for friggin' 7-8 hours a day. It doesn't usually happen for me. But I do think that that's the best thing, rather than to say, let's take a 30-minute dinner break, everybody, and then pull Sarah back in. I'd rather hang out with Sarah and attend her recording, which all of the people that do step away will have that to look forward to on the Kindred of Sangoma YouTube channel, to know that it is going to be there if you feel pulled away. So the choices are to give ourselves about 10-15 minutes to hear from everyone in terms of kind of where that information of NVC landed. I think that would be really useful to Judy, for number one, just
Absolutely.
in terms of how this went and what can even be exchanged in 45 minutes. And then maybe, you know, like take another little bio break, tune up the ice in our glass, and go and give give all of our attention to our West Coast Sarah, because I'm looking forward to hers about much as I was looking forward to Judy's. I love when these good tools come in. And then it's down, you know, I say it's downhill. I think that John Lee Rucker, who always brings it straight, maybe not as emotional, probably still heavy, because we are still dealing in the relationships of humanity as far as the Earth tribes and how we move forward in a time of machines and the evolution of all that part. But then they're going to break out the guitars. It's going to get real cool, and we'll do, if any of us are still awake by then, we'll do stories and stories and music. And I wanted to point that out, Judy, because again, the other two notes I wrote down from you was throw away the judgment card, which was a directive to myself probably 10 years ago, at least in my own progression. And I like that if you're not right, you should be punished, because people are really getting held accountable to how far that Christian programming went in, man.
Yeah.
Because that's everybody's answer for everything. If you're not right, you should be punished.
And I'm gonna decide the punishment.
And I'm gonna decide the punishment. I could shoot you, I could silence you, whatever.
Yeah.
But when we got to don't let your intellect shame anyone, it bounced right back off of the clan mother for this month, storyteller, who says, you know, like the moral of the story, the real object of you telling your own story here is to see if you can do it without pointing the finger at anybody else.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that caught me, and I'm still working on it. That's my report. I'm not even gonna sit here and say I got that one mastered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my roundup. I hope that you know, that helped you. But I think if people chime in at this point with, you know, and give you a little bit of feedback on where that landed for them, that would be ever so helpful for you.
Yes, definitely.
I would like to say that I think definitely, yes, Miss Judy, that you, Sangoma, and I should do a follow-up on, Sangoma's laughing at me, to further these sessions for people. One of the things that I have an abundant amount of elders in my life, and some I have learned, you know, what kind of elder to be when it comes my time, and of course others have provided the example of how not to be. And one of the things that I have always admired about Sangoma is her ability to speak so eloquently. And that is something that I am definitely working on within myself. And with that said, I really feel like this could help me in that direction. So if we can get together later and, you know, maybe establish some, I don't know, sessions, classes, not real sure how we would structure that. Of course, the conversation would take care of that. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And thank you so very much. I've been looking forward to this all day.
Yay. Thank you.